This is a very interesting discussion for me personally because I think none of my beliefs are aligned with anyone on this panel. Um, I'll just say that I understand what the video was saying. I see all religions as cult-like, um, very cult-like behavior, um, very, in my personal opinion, narcissistic behavior in a lot of religions. Because if you take the time to delve deep into religions over time, space, continuums, they all essentially are saying the same all religions be saying the same thing, right? So I think when these religions are professing this benevolent and all encompassing power, right? It seems very incongruent to me with the notion to suggest that this all encompassing higher power would limit its access or its salvation or its truth to only a select group of people who have decided or not decided to believe in said higher power within this religion authority. So for me, I guess I would be the ones that were talking about that this seems more cult-like. Everything that video was saying was very on point for me and my own personal beliefs. I grew up in Christianity. I was the doting Christian girl, vacation Bible stew, usher, choir. I did everything. I followed all the rules. I did everything that I was taught. I listened to my parents, my grandparents, and those grandparents, and what they said, and everybody said. But, I went on my own journey, and I've been on a journey of understanding life for who and what it is for me and my purpose. And I just allow people to do what they're going to do. I don't bother people. I let them believe what they want to believe. And, I go on my way. I've had a great and amazing life thus far. Honestly, for me, stepping outside of religion, I felt like it was damaging me, honestly. Like it didn't agree with my spirit, right? And if religion agrees with your spirit and your truest authentic being, hey, go for it. But I guess this message is for whoever is listening. If it doesn't go with your spirit, like if it doesn't resonate with who you authentically are, then go out there and find what resonates with you. Find your purpose. Find what like really fulfills you, what really gives you motivation, what really inspires you. Because we're taught so many things and so many people never, and I mean never, actually question anything. And I feel like if you're going to believe in something, you should be able to question it. You should be able to ask questions and not being told you're not supposed to question that. Why would you ask that? And I've always questioned so many different things. I love knowledge. I love to have an understanding, and if something don't make sense to me, it just doesn't make sense. So,
Well, I got a question for you.
uh-huh.
I know that people used the word not narcissist as a negative, I think it's a diagnosis actually, but as a negative term. Out of all people in the world, or sources of life, or whatever you want to call it, or spirits, wouldn't it make sense that God would be narcissist?
I think that it's narcissistic for a religion to say that they are the end all be all to salvation.
That who?
So, for
Hold on.
example,
When you say it's narcissistic for
yeah,
a
because you're
religion, are you
discrediting
saying the
you're
people
dis
are narcissistics?
Yes, I'm saying like the religion in itself. I feel like it's a narcissistic ideology because, like,
So
from
here's my question: how can a religion, an actual practice,
yeah,
have a
I'm saying that
diagnosis of a human being?
the the principles and the ideologies and the thought process behind these individual religions,
So
in
basically,
my
you're saying the
opinion,
Hold on,
is
hold on.
individuals are
narcissistic.
not.
Yeah, let her finish, bro. Let her finish.
In my opinion, is narcissistic. I'm not here to like debate or to like go back and forth about it. That's just how I stand on it, and I'm gonna stand on it with
Well, I'm not
every
trying to
being in
debate you.
my
I'm just trying
body.
to
I
understand what
just
are you calling
that's
narcissists? The actual
I'm
practice or the actual people that are involved in the practice?
I'm saying the actual practice, the actual teachings that I can speak on Christianity, the actual teachings of Christianity, I find to be so narcissistic because I remember when I was younger, I asked, I just was curious because I think I was in a history class or something. And because I went to Christian schools, I went to Catholic schools in elementary, I went to Lutheran schools when I was in high school. And so I will always question, like, you're telling me that the Buddhists, for example, one of the most devout, practicing, like, honest, like, monk type people, you're telling me that because these people do not believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, right? We have condemned them to hell because they don't believe in Jesus. That just ain't never make sense. When if we really look at all of the religions out there, right? Christianities don't follow 90% of the shit that they say that they believe in, right? So if we're gonna be condemning people, and that's what a lot of Christians do, they condemn these other religions or other ideologies or other beliefs because they don't believe in this practice, and it just has never made sense. So I think that it's narcissistic to condemn other people, which is then in conflict of what you say that you believe, because you're supposed to not be doing that, but you condemn these people because they honestly, a lot of them ain't aware of it. And then if we look back and we look at history, we look at the foundation of where actual religion came from. It's like if all of the religions are saying one thing, religion is made up. People made this shit up because people need leaders. People need somebody on earth to look up for. Religion is all these religions is made up. It's all a bunch of made up stuff that people have used based on geographic locations,
So what do you
all
call
types of
so
shit.
what do you call what you're doing now?
I'm just saying these are my thoughts. I don't believe,
So
like,
you're
I
you're
have
similar to
elevated.
what you are condemning. You're
I'm not
condemning
condemning. I'm just
the
saying I'm
people that.
not condemning it. I'm telling you, like, it doesn't make sense to me. So when something doesn't make sense and when it doesn't sit right with my spirit, I try to make it sit right with my spirit because I was told that this is what I'm supposed to do. And it never sat right with my spirit. So I've made the conscious decision to step outside of religion. I don't subscribe to
So
religion.
those
I don't
people who looked at other religions, it didn't sit right with their spirit, so they condemned them. Now you're condemning the people that condemn
I'm
other
not
people.
condemning anyone. You asked me my ideologies and my thoughts,
No,
so I'm telling you
I asked you what it,
my thoughts.
I
But
asked
I'm
you
not
what you.
condemning anyone. As I stated, I said I don't tell people what to do. I don't judge people. I let people do them because everybody has their own journey. Everybody journey in life is gonna be different. I am
You
not
just
here
judge somebody.
to.
You,
I'm not
you
judging
don't
nobody. I'm
you
telling
don't
you
think
my
calling something
thoughts. I'm not
narcissistic?
judging. I'm
You
not
You
don't think
just
judging.
called.
All right,
You just
hold on, y'all. One at a time. One at a time.
you don't think
I'm not
you
judging.
don't think
I don't know why you being so aggressive. These my thoughts.
you don't think
I'm not
I
judging
was trying to get
nobody.
you to answer a specific question, but you would not answer it.
I
I
did
was
answer
trying to
your
get
question.
you to.
I told you why
I
I
was.
thought
We
narcissistic.
okay. We all can agree
All right,
that
all right. So what was your question, Bruce? Just so we make sure she answered. What was your question?
narcissist is a diagnosis given to a actual human being, a person.
Mm-hmm.
Religion is a practice. Religion is not an
Mm-hmm.
actual human being. You're saying
Mm-hmm.
religion is narcissistic, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get a clear understanding of. Or are you talking about the people who practice religion as a narcissist, or the religion itself is narcissistic. Because if you're saying the religion itself is narcissistic, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
I think she's saying the collective ideology that people the part. So if you take everybody within the church and then correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to understand what you're saying, Mila, that the way that they view other people is from a lens as a collective that's narcissistic. Is that what you're saying?
Essentially,
Because and that's the reason why.
I just want to
let us
say that I don't want to like this conversation for me is not gonna sit well with y'all. I know that's why I've been quiet on this whole conversation. I don't like to talk about religion and politics. That ain't my. I don't talk about religion and politics because everybody gonna believe what they want to believe, right? We're not gonna agree. Y'all 90%. Y'all not gonna understand where I'm coming from, and that's totally okay. And I'm totally fine with that. I understand where y'all are. I understand what y'all believe in. I have read the Bible front and back. I understand it. I know I'm with y'all. I agree with the video, what the video people were saying. From my personal experience, because I can only speak from my truth and my personal experience, religion is very cult-like. I understand why that was said. I understand why the lady said that if God did and Jesus thing, why people may not find that benevolent. I understood what the people were saying on that podcast. But this type of conversation, I don't like to have them because it just never gets anywhere. People gonna still believe what they believe.
Mila, but why call it narcissistic?
That's just how I feel. And this is my opinion, guys. Remember, this is opinions. Mila said that she feels that it can come off narcissistic, right?
I get
That's how I feel. I don't want to explain it anymore. I said why I feel that way several times.
Hold on, y'all. One at a time. Like, I think he was just trying to get clarification.
I mean, there's no other clarification. I understand what
he was just trying to get an understanding. He was trying to get an understanding.
You're not gonna understand because you do not want to understand.
Mila.
We actually do. That's the reason why we ask questions. That's why I said, doesn't it make sense that God, who is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, would be a narcissist, given the terms?
But the thing is that she's accusing religion or the group or the religious of the very thing that she's doing right now. You literally are judging that very group and calling it narcissistic just because you don't agree with it. That's judgment.
And the elephant, I think, Sweeney, the elephant in this room is similar to what me and I think somebody said. I think the behaviors that women are starting to pick up, and they want it to be accepted as righteousness. So what can you do? You have to condemn the tradition. You have to condemn the Bible because if you're in deviation and you constantly busting that ass open, you want it to be accepted as righteousness. So if you can't, you have to figure out a way to condemn the norm. You know what's been taught. So it kind of makes the persons feel better to continue in their wickedness.
Hold on. I want to get Nelson in there. We got a professional on the panel. I want to hear his thoughts and what he's been seeing and how he's viewing it. Go ahead, Nelson.
No, I understand. She has an opinion, and she completely has a right to her opinion. I'm not going to challenge it. Of course, I don't agree, but it's not for me to agree or disagree. In terms of the title narcissist, that doesn't apply to God. That is not, calling someone a narcissist is not a clinical diagnosis. Saying somebody has narcissistic personality disorder is a clinical diagnosis. It's the same thing if I tell somebody, if I say Sweeney looks depressed, I'm not diagnosing Sweeney as having major depressive disorder. I'm just saying he looks depressed. So there is a difference.
What if you say he is depressed?
That's not saying that he has major depression.
I'm not saying you're saying Sweeney has major depression. I'm saying he's depressed.
Yeah, that's not making a diagnosis. That at that point it's an opinion. If I'm making a diagnosis, I'm saying Sweeney is he's been fatigued for a certain amount of time. He's got a change in his eating. He's lost weight. He is depressed for 5 out of 7 days of the week, for all day, most of the day. I'm stating a certain amount of criteria to make an informed decision or a formed assessment that he is suffering from depression.
I'm sorry, Nelson, but the words, the way I pay close attention to the words people say. And when I went to school and I had to cipher sentences, those don't sound like opinions. If you said, I think Sweeney is depressed, then that sounds like opinion. But when you say Sweeney is depressed, that sounds more like a fact. If I was given a test and I had to choose one of those as an opinion, I would say the word think added to I think Sweeney is depressed as an opinion. But if you're saying Sweeney is depressed, I think that's more like a freaking diagnosis, bro.
What?
If I say Sweeney is depressed, what happens if the next day Sweeney looks happy?
Then you would say Sweeney is happy.
So then Sweeney's not suffering from depression then.
So basically, as long as Sweeney is not depressed, Sweeney has to be depressed longer than 24 hours for it to stick. Is that what you're saying?
For a clinical diagnosis of major depression, yeah, he's got to be depressed for more than a day.
You keep adding major depression on it, but I'm a yield. I'm a yield because I don't want to.
Got his ass cooked,
Darwin. But Darwin, you seem anxious though. Like you seem anxious.
Now that's an opinion. Now,
okay. So I can't say that you have. So I can't say you have generalized anxiety disorder.
You got it.
So I can't say that you have generalized anxiety disorder, though, can I?
He got cooked.
I'm just trying to read in between lines, brother. Go ahead, though.
Okay, I think you misread it, but I'm right with you.